When it comes to building the perfect audio setup, nothing defines your sound quite like the amplifier. A great stereo amplifier isn't just about raw power. It's about clarity, warmth, detail, and the ability to bring your music to life exactly as the artist intended. Whether you're an audiophile chasing pure hi-fi performance, or just someone who wants their favorite playlist to sound better than ever, choosing the right amp can completely transform your listening experience. To help you find the right model, we've listed the top 10 best stereo amplifier and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. Links to all products mentioned in the video are in the description below. So let's get started. Number 10, Denon CEO RCDN. The Denon CEO RCDN is a compact yet highly capable amplifier that has quickly earned a reputation as one of the most versatile systems in its class. Often described as the younger sibling of the Mark 612, it benefits from Denon and Mars' shared engineering expertise, which means it comes from excellent stock. In many ways, the CEO is a scaled-down version of the MCR 612, and it doesn't try to hide that fact. What makes it appealing, however, is how well it balances performance, features, and accessibility. The name CEO, pronounced C, even gave it the playful nickname Kiss from a Rose. Beyond the name, this little unit offers a broad range of functions that make it stand out. With built-in wireless streaming, HiOS, multi-room connectivity, and a surprisingly full set of inputs, including optical and a CD player, it can act as the central hub of a home entertainment setup without overwhelming the space. In terms of sound, the CEO impresses. Its presentation is warm, clear, and refined, echoing the tonal balance of the MCR 612. Though with slightly less muscle and dynamic punch, this makes it better suited for smaller, more efficient speakers rather than power-hungry floor standards. Pair it with bookshelf speakers like the Wharfedale Diamond 9.1, the Dolly Spectre range, or smaller models from Dolly's Oberon line, and the results are excellent. Compact, stylish, and sonically engaging, the Denon CEO RCDN is an ideal entry point into a broader hi-fi ecosystem and an amplifier that delivers far more than its size suggests. Number 9, Musical Fidelity M5SI. The Musical Fidelity M5SI is one of those amplifiers that doesn't need flashy features or gimmicks to make an impression. It's straightforward in its approach, yet exceptionally effective where it matters most, delivering music with authority and grace. Offering 150 watts per channel, it provides more than enough power for demanding speakers, but what sets it apart is the way it balances muscle with refinement. The M5SI never feels aggressive or forced. Instead, it projects music with a kind of natural eloquence that's rare in this price range. Having spent time with a wide range of musical fidelity gear, I can honestly say the M5SI might be my personal favorite. It doesn't try to do too much. It just focuses on being a superb stereo amplifier, and in that role, it excels. During my testing, I paired it with Focal's Area Evo X number 3 floor standards, and the synergy was genuinely impressive. At the time, my playlist leaned heavily towards synthwave and yacht rock. Think Cal True to Christopher Cross, and the amp handled every track with ease. The sound was smooth, detailed, and incredibly satisfying with a sense of effortlessness that immediately stood out. That effortlessness actually reminded me of the late great Roxanne Black, an amplifier I still miss. However, the M5SI does introduce a slightly more clinical edge, which could be a double-edged sword depending on your system. Pair it with a brighter speaker, and you may find the presentation tips toward sharpness. But when matched with warmer speakers and a solid set of cables, I had great results with Chord Clearway X. The M5SI comes into its own. Add a capable DAC or streamer, and you've got a setup that delivers a lush, engaging, and highly musical listening experience. Number 8, Quad Arteris Solus Play. Quad Arteris Solus. The Quad Arteris Solus Play is a fascinating piece of hi-fi kit because it strikes such a careful balance between compact design and serious performance. At its heart, this is an amplifier that impresses right out of the box. Powerful, dynamic, and remarkably controlled. I've always been drawn to smaller, more compact amplifiers, and the Artera ranks among my personal favorites. Its sound has real presence, delivering authority and grip in a way that reminds me of bigger beasts like the Roxanne Black, but without the bulk. Adding a built-in CD player is a thoughtful touch, and it's clear that Quad voiced it to complement the amplifier's bold yet refined character. Play a disc through it, and you can hear that attention to detail. A presentation that's muscular but never harsh, confident without being overbearing. This is an amplifier designed to sound big, open, and engaging. Where the Artura Solus Play stumbles is in its reliance on the DTS Play-Fi platform for streaming. In theory, it gives you flexibility, but in practice, I often found the app unstable. Crashes, freezing functions, and general clunkiness made the experience frustrating. Yes, the Play-Fi app has improved over the years, but when I used it regularly, I'd often bypass it altogether, leaning instead on Spotify Connect or other direct streaming solutions that were far more reliable. That said, it feels a little unfair to judge the Artura purely on software. At its core, this is an outstanding amplifier. If you treat streaming as a bonus rather than its defining feature, you're left with a truly capable all-in-one. The touchscreen isn't its strongest point, but once you're set up, day-to-day operation with the remote is straightforward. Ultimately, the Artura Solus Play delivers bold, effortless performance in a compact, beautifully built package that can compete with the very best in its class. Number 7, Mission 778X Integrated Amplifier. The Mission 778X is a compact powerhouse of an amplifier that delivers far more than its modest size suggests. Designed with simplicity and practicality in mind, it offers a wide range of connectivity options, including Bluetooth for effortless wireless streaming, traditional analog RCA inputs, optical and coaxial digital connections, a dedicated phono input for turntables, and even a USB-B input, which is rare to find at this price point. This flexibility ensures the 778X can slot neatly into almost any audio setup, whether modern or more traditional. What stands out about the 778X is that it doesn't try to be something it isn't. Much like Marin's PM607, it keeps things straightforward, but executes them extremely well. It isn't overloaded with unnecessary features or gimmicks. It's just a clean, honest amplifier that focuses on delivering strong performance where it matters most: sound quality. Its form factor is another highlight. Surprisingly small, it sits closer in size to the famously compact Cyrus amplifiers, yet still manages to pack in a respectable 45 watts per channel. Don't let that modest rating fool you though. This amp has more than enough muscle to drive a wide variety of speakers with confidence and control. In terms of competition, it can't quite match the feature-rich Meritance MCR 612, which offers built-in streaming and app control, nor the premium NAD Atom, which benefits from Class AB architecture and higher-end components for more expansive soundstage. But the fact that the 778X can even be mentioned alongside such a company speaks volumes about its quality. Paired with Dolly Oberon 5 speakers, the Mission 778X impressed with its tonal balance, complementing their warm, soft character. The result was a presentation that was detailed, yet smooth, never harsh or fatiguing. Simply put, the Mission 778X is a brilliant little amp that punches well above its weight. Number 6, Arkham Radia SA35 Streaming Amplifier. I recently had the chance to spend some time with the Arkham Radio SA35 before its official release, and I came away genuinely impressed. This integrated amplifier delivers everything you'd want from a modern hi-fi amp: power, muscle, clarity, and an expansive sense of width. It's also very clear which market Arkham is aiming for here, positioning the SA35 directly against the likes of the Naim Unity series and Cambridge Audio's Evo range. The SA35 outputs 120 watts per channel, which is nearly 3 times the power of the Naim Atom. And that extra headroom translates into far greater dynamic control and authority. At its core is Arkham's Class G amplification, a design that manages to balance raw strength with refined efficiency. The result is a presentation that feels both muscular and clean. Adding to that, the inclusion of direct live room correction is a big win, allowing you to tailor the performance precisely to your listening space. In use, the SA35 feels effortless, driving speakers with a sense of grip, transparency, and composure that few amps in this price range can match. That said, for all its technical excellence, I personally find the Arkham sound a little restrained in terms of character. It's undeniably impressive, but not quite emotionally gripping for my taste. Still, judged on performance and versatility, the SA35 is outstanding, a serious contender in the premium integrated amp space. Number 5. Marantz MCR 612. The Marantz MCR 612 has long been one of my most recommended streaming amplifiers, and for good reason. In my view, it represents the best value for money option in its class, combining modern streaming flexibility with the rich musical sound Marantz is known for. At the heart of its streaming capabilities lies Denon's HiOS platform, a system that has matured into one of the most reliable and versatile ecosystems available today. Unlike some competitors that impose frustrating bandwidth limitations, HiOS supports full-resolution playback up to 192 kHz at 24-bit. This means that if you've invested in a library of high-resolution FLAC files, whether stored on a NAS drive or streamed from another source, the MCR 612 will deliver them without compromise. On the amplification side, the MCR 612 doesn't disappoint either. Its 60 watts of Class D power per channel are more than enough to drive a wide range of speakers with authority and finesse. Importantly, Marantz has tuned the amplifier to avoid the sterile, overly clinical sound that Class D designs can sometimes produce. Instead, the tonal balance is smooth, warm, and musical, qualities that align perfectly with Marantz's long-standing reputation for natural, engaging sound. High-resolution files are handled effortlessly, and the amp brings out the subtle textures and dynamics that make listening sessions so rewarding. If there's a weakness, it's in the build. The chassis is made of plastic, and a quick tap with the fingernail produces a hollow clack that feels more early 2000s budget hi-fi than modern premium gear. Still, as my mother used to remind me, it's what's on the inside that counts. And in this case, that wisdom couldn't be more accurate. The MCR 612's internals and sonic performance are genuinely impressive, far outweighing any misgivings about the exterior. For performance, versatility, and sheer value, this little amplifier is an absolute gem. Number 4, Audiolab 9000A. From a performance standpoint, the Audiolab 9000A is a truly impressive amplifier. It delivers power, control, and excellent dynamics, giving it the kind of authority you'd expect from far more expensive systems. At first, you might find the sound to be a little flat, but in this case, that's actually a strength. The neutrality of the 9000A allows your source component to take the lead in shaping the tonal character, while the amp itself provides a clean, stable power platform. In this regard, it feels closer to the type of performance you'd expect from a dedicated monoblock setup rather than a traditional integrated amplifier. One of its standout features is its ability to operate in both integrated and pre-power modes. In practice, this means you can completely bypass the preamp stage, letting your source handle volume control and tone shaping. In this configuration, the 9000A functions purely as a stereo power amplifier, which makes it incredibly flexible. It can begin as a simple, standalone, integrated amp for a smaller system, and later evolve into a dedicated power amp when you upgrade to a full pre-power setup. Connectivity is another strong point. The 9000A offers a wide array of options, including XLR, RCA, coaxial, optical, and USB inputs, making it versatile for modern and traditional systems alike. Backed by 100 watts of Class AB power per channel, it has more than enough muscle to drive most speakers with authority and finesse. That said, the screen is a mixed bag. While the animated waveform display adds visual flair, it's ultimately just a looping graphic rather than a real representation of the music. The VU meter mode is fun, but its half-second lag detracts from the effect. It feels like a missed opportunity, but to be fair, it's more of a cosmetic extra than a core function. Number 3, Arcam A15 integrated amplifier. The Arcam Radia A15 is one of those amplifiers that reminds you why the brand has long been admired for its sound. This Class AB integrated amp delivers a robust 80 watts per channel, and it does so with real authority. Sonically, it embodies that classic Arcam character, muscular, clean, and precise. It is a highly expressive amplifier with excellent grip and dynamic punch, making music feel alive and engaging. Paired with the right speakers, Ideally those with a more neutral balance, the A15 delivers a performance that is refined yet powerful. However, with brighter or more clinical speakers, its clean presentation converge on being a touch too sharp. The A15 sits in the middle of the Radia lineup, alongside the lower-powered A5 and the beefier A25, giving listeners options depending on their power needs. Compared with the older SA series, though, there are some differences worth noting. The build and tactile feel have shifted. Gone is the weighty mechanical clunk of the power button, replaced by something far less satisfying. The once premium-feeling metal chassis has been traded for a lighter matte black finish, which looks modern but doesn't quite feel as luxurious. Even the volume knob offers little resistance, making the overall interaction less tactile than before. That said, these issues are more about touch and feel than performance. In practice, the A15 more than makes up for these shortcomings with its sonic ability. It is a streamlined, modern amplifier that includes a very capable built-in DAC and a solid array of digital inputs. While the absence of HDMI may disappoint some, the inclusion of optical connectivity helps ensure flexibility. Ultimately, the A15 is an amplifier that impresses where it matters most, in its expressive muscular sound. Number 2, Marantz PM 6007. The Marantz PM 6007 is one of those amplifiers that immediately comes to mind when you think of a classic no-nonsense hi-fi amp. It feels like the default option in the best possible way, the kind of unit you imagine when someone says, "Picture an amplifier." Compared to modern integrated designs like Neem's Unity range, the PM 6007 represents a very different philosophy. There are no built-in streaming modules, no oversized digital displays, and certainly no HDMI inputs to blur the line between hi-fi and home cinema. Instead, this is a traditional class AB amplifier focused entirely on clean power delivery and reliable analog performance. Rated at 45 watts per channel, the PM 6007 doesn't sound overly powerful on paper, but in practice, it delivers more than enough drive for most bookshelf and even some floor-standing speakers. Where it differs from more premium competitors like the Neem Atom is in refinement. The Neem carries a sense of resolution, openness, and effortless detail that reflects its higher price tag. The PM 6007, however, takes a warmer and smoother approach. It may not extract the very last ounce of micro detail, but it makes up for that with control, balance, and what many describe as the sweet meringue house sound. Connectivity is another area where this amp shines. It offers 4 RCA line-level inputs, plus a dedicated phono input for turntables backed by a surprisingly capable built-in phono stage. For vinyl lovers, this makes the PM 6007 an excellent all-in-one hub. A thoughtful touch is the inputs are labeled and mirrored on the front panel, making it easy to know what's connected where. While you can reassign them as you like, this small detail adds genuine day-to-day convenience. Overall, the PM 6007 is a traditional amplifier done right, simple, musical, and remarkably satisfying for the money. Number 1, Neem Unity Atom. I'll start with a bit of bias and get it out of the way, and I'm also gonna roll 2 more amps into this section as they're essentially elaborations on the same core unit. When I was building my setup, I spent the better part of a year agonizing over which amplifier to choose. I knew I wanted something with streaming capabilities, as that's my primary media source. I also wanted HDMI connectivity, so I could use it as a 2-channel home cinema amp, and it had to be compact enough to fit neatly into my living space. After countless hours of research, comparisons, and demo sessions, the Neem Unity Atom emerged as the clear winner. The Unity Atom ticks all of those boxes and then some. I go as far as saying it's the single best thing I have ever spent money on, full stop. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Whether you're streaming high-resolution audio, spinning a vinyl record, or watching a film, the Atom handles it all with ease and musicality. But it's not just about the sound, it's the whole ownership experience. The oversized volume dial is wonderfully tactile and satisfying. The crisp front display is both informative and stylish, and the companion app is smooth, responsive, and genuinely useful, not an afterthought, as with many rivals. Everything about it feels properly thought through, and there's never any doubt that you're dealing with a true premium product. Powered by Neem's decades of expertise, the Unity Atom features a 40-watt Class AB amplifier. That may not sound huge on paper, but it's plenty for most living rooms, and it really shines when paired with high-sensitivity speakers such as Focal's Area Range. Connectivity is flexible with RCA inputs, optical inputs, pre-outs, and of course HDMI ARC. Now, this is where the other two models come in, the Unity Star and Unity Nova. Both are physically larger, roughly 20 centimeters wider, but they bring extra power and functionality. The Star adds a high-quality CD ripper and boost output to 70 watts, giving greater dynamic range, while the flagship Nova pushes power further to 80 watts of refined Class AB muscle. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up, leaving a comment, and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so you never miss out on our latest videos.